There's all of these rules around what you can and can't do when you're on your period. Cook food in the kitchen. Now, I wasn't cooking food in the kitchen anyway, but even if you're not doing something, simply being told you're not allowed to do it is annoying anyway. Or doing certain types of work, or in families, when women are on their period, they don't cook. They frequently don't sleep in the same room, or at least not the same bed with the husband. All of our ancient yogic traditions are all developed to flow with change. And so whether it's different times of the day, whether it's different seasons, whether it's different parts of the world. So the Ayurvedic and Vedic lifestyle and practices for summer and winter are very different. For evening and morning are very different. It's really only Western, modern, which I put in quotations because most of us think of modern as somehow better, like wine, somehow wisdom improves with age. And it is like that. The newer something is, we tend to think of it as better, it's newer, but it's actually not. Some cases, some discoveries are fantastic and amazing and better than anything we had before. But a lot of times the ancient wisdom is actually much wiser. And so it's only this modern wisdom that gives you this kind of cookie cutter approach to yoga, to diet, to lifestyle, to sadhana, where it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter the time of year, it doesn't matter what else is going on in your life, like this is your cookie cutter sadhana. But the ancient wisdom was not like that. And so along with all of the variations of season or place, are variations for women in their hormone cycle. In the practice of yoga asanas, the actual physical postures, really the only core difference is you should never do inversions. The flow, the energy of the flow when you are on your menstrual cycle is a flow downward. It is, the body is letting go of that which could have sustained life. But if it's not going to sustain life, ultimately it becomes toxic if it stays in the body for too long. And that's why we flush it out every month. So you just want to make sure that as far as yoga postures go, that you're not doing things like headstands or shoulder stands or handstands or anything that is going against the flow of the body. You also want to be sure not to overexert yourself. It's a time of the month of rest for the physical body, great energy in the energetic body, but rest for the physical body, which is where, interestingly, this is where spirituality, science, and society kind of overlap. Because in India, there's all of these rules around what you can and can't do when you're on your period. And I remember when I first came here, I was very, not just surprised, but I have to say kind of insulted and annoyed by the rules. Rules like you can't cook food in the kitchen. Now, I wasn't cooking food in the kitchen anyway, but even if you're not doing something, simply being told you're not allowed to do it is annoying anyway. So even though the cooks cook and I don't cook, the idea that should I want to, I wasn't allowed to be cooking in the kitchen. It disturbed me. The idea that I was not allowed to be doing puja or doing certain types of work, or, and that in families, when women are on their period, they don't cook. They frequently don't sleep in the same room, or at least not the same bed with the husband. And I remember being, I was 25 and American and progressive. And I remember saying, very fed up, but I'm not bleeding out of my hands. Like, what's the problem here? And what I learned was it actually was a way that the rishis and the sages took this cycle of women where they knew that women, need rest anyway, because we're humans and we live in human bodies and therefore sometimes need rest, but especially on the menstrual cycle, need a little bit of extra rest. And by bringing it into this religious aspect of she's not allowed in the kitchen, she shouldn't be in your bed, it was a way that the rishis gave these women essentially 4 days off a month from what was otherwise a 24-hour a day, 365 day a year full-time job of taking care of the family, of the home, of the husband, and really suppressing in many ways her needs for the needs of the husband and the family. And so the rishis came in and they said, for 4 days, don't let her cook your food. Don't let her be in your bedroom. Don't let her, all the things that she probably would like a rest from anyway. They brought it in as this spiritual science. So if you look at the ancient yoginis, though, rather than the traditional women in householder lifestyles, they too, in so many traditional cultures, not just Indian traditional culture, but a lot of indigenous cultures, the women would go to some place in the woods where they would be alone, a hut, a teepee, a camp, somewhere, a special room, a special home, a special place, not because they were banished in a negative way that tragically it ended up kind of taking on that connotation, but actually because their energy is so strong at that time. The internal energy is so strong. But the physical body could use with a little bit of rest. And so traditionally, spiritually, it was created for the women to be able to honor that time, to honor that cycle, to give the physical body some rest of the day-to-day duties while tapping into the powerful energy. So today, with so much of the modern ways that things have happened, we now have the ability to basically move through our lives and not even really know that we're menstruating. And that's great and wonderful. And it doesn't take into consideration that there is still that energetic shift in the body. So bare minimum, make sure that you're not doing any yogic inversions. Don't go upside down. But also see whether you can't tap into more of that ancient wisdom that says, hey, there's a different flow. There's a different energy right now. Tune into it. Tap into it. No, it isn't bad or dirty or toxic or wrong. This was just a way of kind of keeping you free from a lot of duties. But it is different. And allow yourself to recognize that. Tap into it. Dive deep in it. It's the energy of creation. It's the energy of that full moon, where things shift. I mean, if you look at the energy literally of the moon on the ocean, high tide, low tide, the impact of a full moon on the seas, we know that that moon cycle gravitationally, energetically has a huge impact. So as women, we have this beautiful opportunity of aligning and tapping into that energy. So use it. Allow yourself to really benefit from that.